Hello, what is up, web watchers? It's been a long time since I've posted this type of video, but I'm back. I have posted videos recently, but not really the type of content that I normally like to do. This is kind of more or less one of the first videos that I'm anxious to share on my new phone here, on my new video setup. I've actually had this phone for almost a year now, but anyway, let's get right to it. If you clicked on this video, it is because, well, the title is 14 Shelf-Stable Food Menu Items. This is essentially a meal or a menu of 14 different meals. What I'm going to do here is there's actually like 17 meals in this list, but I'm kind of throwing in a bonus extra 2 or 3 just to give you a little more variety in case you don't like 1 or 2 or a handful of the meals that I'm pitching to you here, that you basically can pick and choose, and you won't have to eat the same meal twice in a 2-week span. But basically, the purpose of this video is it's all of this menu. It's something very simple that are shelf stable. So what you're looking at here is stuff that can last on a shelf for a year, year and a half, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, even longer. They're shelf stable. They're calorically dense. Everything that I'm going to show you in this combination of meals. They're tasty and they're easy to prepare, and they're fairly balanced. They're not perfectly balanced, but they're mostly balanced, because that's obviously very important. You don't want to eat the same thing all the time. You need the variety of foods from the food pyramid, and they're very inexpensive. This is stuff that you can get at Kroger, Walmart, Meijer, the dollar store, wherever. So as you see, I kind of have a variety of places that I've shopped at. That's intentional, and I'm showing you in some cases that you can get, either the name brand or the store brand, and you can save some money going with the store brand or buying in bulk as well. So the first one that I have laid out here is basically kind of a cheap, quick tuna casserole. It is going to consist of 2 cans of tuna, a package of either egg noodles or regular spaghetti noodles work fine too, probably a little less expensive. They do last longer too. The egg noodles don't last quite as long, generally speaking. A can of mixed vegetables, and 2 cans, even though I only show 1 here, of cream of chicken soup. You can use 1, but it's better if you use 2, and it's got a little more calories. So that's the first meal. That is like a tuna casserole type meal. I will be posting the calories per person and the cost per person for each of these up probably in this corner of the screen over here. Okay, so that was meal number 1. Basically, you boil the noodles, you drain the noodles, you open the cans of everything, mix it up, and possibly even, you don't even necessarily have to reheat it. And it comes out pretty good. I mean, I'm calling it like a tuna casserole, but it's more like a tuna helper, if you will. It's going to be a lot more nutritional than a box of tuna helper, but it is also going to, it's going to taste a lot better. It's going to cost a little bit more than a box of tuna helper, but it's going to feed more people as well. So the next thing that I have, I like to call Spam and Cheese. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you this box of Kraft Macaroni and Cheese that you get from Costco, which actually brings down the price quite well. A can of Spam. You can also get the variety that has the, that's like the off-brand, like the Walmart Great Value, is about $1 per can cheaper. And then you throw in like your favorite vegetable. In this case, we're going to throw in, to get a little bit more fiber, we're going to throw in the can of sweet peas there. Basically, you just make the mac and cheese, fry up some Spam, heat up some peas. It's a meal. It's, believe it or not, it's really good. Some variety that you can do. You can chop this up and mix everything all together and make it again more kind of like a tuna helper type package where it's all like combined in one meal. You can do that. I will be posting the calories up there. This box of 18, I don't know, I think this probably cost about 10 or 12 bucks at Costco, which brings them to less than $1 a box in this case, right? The large quantity like that. So, meal number 3. This is really simple, guys. This is a staple. We like to get the Ragu flavored with meat. The calories on it are a little bit higher. Box of pasta, it can be whatever type you like, whether it's fettuccine or angel hair or masticholi, whatever. They tend to last a bit 2 to 3 years, I think. You can get the off-brand as well. And then in this case, you would throw in basically like something like a can of green beans. You're going to get your proper nutrition that way, okay? Okay, so this is the first, I'll call it vegetarian, meatless dish, if you will. It's basically just, you know, this is a big staple, guys. Getting these bags of beans, and in this case I've got great value, but getting the other bags, getting the larger bags works well too. But when you're just starting off and you want to keep the costs down and stock that pantry up, go ahead and get the smaller, the 1 or 2 pound bags. They're like $1 or $2. They're like basically about $1 a pound. Obviously, if you buy in bulk, the larger the packages you buy, you're going to have to find a way to store them, but you're going to bring the price way down. Basically, you soak the beans, cook them, cook the rice, mix the corn, add some seasoning, salt, pepper, whatever. It's a really good meatless dish. You're getting some vegetables, you're getting some carbs and some protein in the beans as well. So you really can't go wrong with this meal. It's the one time every so often that my family will have a meatless dish, and they like this. It goes over pretty well. Okay, next, this one is a little strange. So not a lot of people know this. If you mix pumpkin, and I'm actually showing a double-sized can there. In reality, you only need the 15-ounce can. This is like a 20-something, 29. If you mix pumpkin in corn muffin mix, you literally need nothing else, and you can basically make corn muffin pumpkin pancakes, and they come out really good. They taste kind of like a cross between a tortilla and cornbread, and they're actually, don't knock it till you try it. It's actually not bad. If you throw some refried beans on it, heat it up, you can even throw some black olives on it. I know it sounds odd, but trust me on that, you can do it. I'm showing 2 cans of chili here. We like to get the chili with no beans because the calories are higher, and you know, the beans can just get, you got beans here, we had beans in the last meal, just you get beaned out. Technically, just using one of these cans, I'm just showing you that there's a variety that you can get. We really love this Woodward chili. I think it's made here in Michigan. But Hormel is good as well. Calorically, this is a good meal. It's inexpensive. Got the price and the calories per person up in the corner there for you. Okay, so the next 2 meals that I've got on display here. If you add a can of Vienna sausage to a can of baked beans, it kind of makes it like Franks and beans. And then add your you know, off to the side, separate, not in the same bowl. Add your favorite, you know, stew or minestrone. We like the minestrone with sausage because it gives you a bit more calories. That makes an excellent meal. It's balanced. It's inexpensive. Now, over here off to the right, this is kind of a traditional favorite. If you open 2, 3, in this case maybe 4 cans of these Vienna sausages at like 50 cents a can, add them to a can or 2 of new potatoes, in a can of rinsed sauerkraut, and boil it up. It's a delicious Polish type flair. It's really good. It's very similar to you know, like kraut and kielbasa. Yeah, kraut and kielbasa. So I recommend it. Give it a try. Price for that up in the corner. Calories. It's good stuff. I'm not going to do you wrong. Give it a try. And in that last segment, you noticed that the macaroni and cheese was the was the off-brand. I think those are about 30 cents a box. In this segment here, I'm showing you, again, spaghetti with the ragu with meat sauce, and you put the peas right in it, as opposed to like green beans on the side. This is more or less kind of like one of those bonus things that I'm providing you. It's different than eating the spaghetti not with the peas in it, but it actually makes it like it's kind of a different meal. So that's more or less one of the bonus ones. Some people don't like green beans. Some people don't like peas. Some people don't like adding the peas or the green beans to the sauce. In this case, spaghetti and peas is a traditional Italian favorite. We love it. Give it a try. Okay, so the next 2 meals that we've got in here, you take regular spaghetti, a can of cream of chicken, a can of Spam, and a can of peas. Mix that all together. It's going to be similar, but not the same, as like the tuna casserole dish that I showed you earlier. Similarly, tuna in mac and cheese, and add the peas to it. Another good variety. Okay, so earlier I want to correct something that I posted. I will add the text appropriately in the earlier version of this meal that I made. I had regular corn in there. The thing that I had messed up on in that other pumpkin and corn muffin mix, I should have had cream corn in there. It makes it kind of like a casserole. This particular meal is very similar to that one, but you're actually going to make the pumpkin and the corn muffin mix with the green chilies in it, like cornbread, and then you're just going to eat corn on the side and chili on the side. The other thing was a little different, and I'll correct it in the textual description. You'll see, you would have, when you watched it, you would have seen that the corrections were made textually. Okay, so this I like to call Vienna rice. It's Vienna sausage, and you're going to use, I don't remember how many, 2 cans, I think. Yes, 2 cans. You're going to soak the beans, cook them, leave them whole, don't mash them up. Cook the rice, and add everything all together as you're cooking the rice. So once the beans are already cooked, cut up the 2 cans of Vienna sausage, add the can of corn to the simmering rice, cover it, and let it cook until the rice is dry, basically, until all the water absorbs. Okay, so this meal, this is the first one where I'm actually introducing crushed tomato or petite diced tomato, which is actually our preference. And here I'm showing the crushed tomato. Tomato sauce and green chili to be combined with the rice, and maybe even some broth, or you could just use water to make Spanish rice. You're going to have to season that with a little bit of salt, pepper, preferably chili powder to make it come out like Spanish rice. Also, it's really good to add a can of corn to it. This particular recipe does not have that in there, but you can feel free to do that and boost up your vitamins and your calories. And have a couple of cans. I think in here I'm showing 1, but in reality, to feed a family of 4, you'd probably need 2 of these cans of clam chowder soup. Again, it's going to give you the variety you're looking for. It's going to be a good solid meal. It's going to be inexpensive. Price up in the corner, calories up in the corner. Good meal. Okay, we're in the home stretch here. Here's 2 more meals. This is the first time that I'm incorporating an added protein into spaghetti. I like to call this spaghettoni. In college, one of my roommates made this. I didn't think I wanted to try it. When I actually did, I started making it for myself. It was pretty good. Cook up the spaghetti just like you normally would. Add a can of tuna, maybe 2. Green beans on the side. It's a good way to go. Over here, this meal I like to call Sporky Smash. It's just a name that I came up with. It's you dice up a couple of cans of white potatoes, a can or 2 of Spam, fry them up, some veggies on the side. It's an excellent meal. So this dish I like to call beans and greens. You can literally either make your own homemade pork and beans and cut up Spam and add it right to it, or you can get the old Bush's baked beans, cook up the spinach, add the Spam to the spinach, dice it up, put it in both things, put it in one, put it in the other. It doesn't even matter. It's balanced, it's inexpensive, it's going to do what you need, it's going to feed a family of 4, 1 meal. Okay, so this one is technically not one of the honorable mentions, but it does take us up to 17. It is that corn casserole again, where you mix the corn muffin mix, the pumpkin puree, and the cream-style corn. You mix them all together in one pot and heat it up, and voila, it's delicious. You don't need to add anything else. Can of Spam on the side. It's basically, you got your ham with corn casserole. So basically, all right, we went through 17 meals here. I've showed you the caloric density of each meal, the calories per person, the cost per person. You have flexibility to modify this as you see fit. But the main point here is that all of this stuff, like the Spam, for example, when you find one, you can find them where they're 5 years out. I mean, I'm in 2020 right now. This is more than 2 years out. I've probably owned this can for a year. I am going to be doing another video on how to rotate your stock, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that, and you know, I will actually link that video in this one. While I'm on the topic of linking to other things, please remember to smash that subscribe and like button, and get the YouTube or whatever extra video services I post this video on, get their algorithms to get me to making sure that you're keeping up to date with the content. Please, I'd appreciate it. So remember, these are shelf-stable foods. Most of them last a year, year and a half, 2 years. Some, like the Spam, the Vienna sausage, some of the dry goods last upwards of 3, 4, 5 years. It's very easy to create like a 3-month supply of this stuff, 3-4 month supply, buying a little bit at a time. It doesn't take you that long to build up a pretty decent prepper pantry. I will be showing you that my pantry in a future video, as well as showing you the way that I rotate stock and what I do when I go to the grocery store. In this video, I hope I've provided you with some ideas. Everything here is the longest term storage stuff that I could find. Again, that's least expensive. The meals that I've showed you are calorically dense. You're not eating the same thing twice. Some of them are variations on each other, so you might look at it as being kind of corny. Oh, you basically just did the same thing and swapped out a protein or swapped out a vegetable. But yeah, but that's the way you got to do it in order to get your variety. So guys, I hope you like this video. Please share it with others, and like and subscribe and follow and all those things that pay the piper. All right, and thanks for watching, and I will be posting more videos, and please continue to follow. Thanks.